Why isn't this in our health textbooks? So Dr. Otto Warburg did research on cellular voltage and he found out that it's so important when it comes to health. He did not find sick people with high voltage and he did not find healthy people with low voltage. Here is a chart explaining cellular voltage. Optimal cell voltage is between 100 millivolts and 70 millivolts. And cancer cells usually have a cell voltage below 20 millivolts. But now you're thinking, why is cellular voltage so important to health? I'm about to share with you guys the craziest experiment with the salamander and the frog. Robert O. Becker was so fascinated with the salamander and its ability to heal itself. The salamander has the ability to regenerate its limbs, half a heart, and even a whole eye. So Robert O. Becker decided to cut off a limb from the salamander and the frog. Mind you that the frog doesn't have these healing abilities, so if you cut off a limb, that's the end of it. When he cut off both limbs, the cellular voltage completely dropped for both of them. But for the salamander, there was a surge of energy that went up to negative 30 millivolts, and all of that energy went straight to the limb. Meanwhile, the frog only had a steady rise of voltage and it went back to its normal state. And Robert O. Becker discovered that this surge of energy is what stimulated this regeneration. So Becker wondered, if he supplied a current to the frog stump, will it cause regeneration? And when he supplied a low frequency and a low intensity current, you know what happened? The frog regenerated its whole limb. When Nikola Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, he is not joking.
This is what happens to your blood when you take your shoes off and start grounding.
On grounding, if you recall how we had everybody come up here and we did the 4 or 5 folks that went and got grounded, they had the pain, and we're going to look at their blood. You guys want to check this out? So this is before and after grounding. So this is subject one of the folks who was in our audience right here. That's their blood before. This is 45 minutes later. Let's go to the next one here. All right, and you can just see what's happening. Look at it. See, there we have the agglutinated blood, the coagulated blood. There's the free-form electrostatically charged blood. Let's go to subject 3. And you see the grounded blood again, 45 minutes later. Subject 4, look at that. We're electrical creatures way before we're chemical creatures. Electricity affects you immediately. How long does it last? Unknown. It's a very good question. We don't know how long we can load up on electricity as a reservoir and hold it, but we're learning more about that. That is the subject. Now, what's interesting about this grounding business is that you hold the electricity in the Chinese meridian points, and the number one reservoir of this electricity in your whole body is actually your thyroid.
So I want to hop on here today and show the difference of my friend using electroculture in her garden. This is a 2-week difference, right? 2 weeks. So this plant was not using electroculture, so no copper whatsoever. This tomato plant was using electroculture and used copper, and look at the difference. This is a 2-week difference. So electroculture has been hidden from our society, reason being because of pesticide companies and all of these chemical companies. They want you to spray chemicals all over your crops and all different types of fertilizers and things that are very, very toxic to us. But with using electroculture, we can harness the Earth's energy and actually make our crops grow faster. Now, this was presented back in the day when Victor Schauberger in the 1930s and 40s presented this to the EU Council, and they shot it down because they told the farmers that if they started using copper and copper plows and copper tools and all of these things that can yield them more food, they said that the prices of the crops would not be as high and they would not be able to sell them and make as much money. So they had a whole kibosh and pushed iron tools, which actually destroy the Earth's magnetism and destroy your yields and dry out the soil. And instead of pushing copper, they pushed iron so that they could continue the profits. And a lot of this information was forgotten, but here's a perfect example of a 14-day difference utilizing no copper and how you can grow your plants faster. A lot of people are asking, what can I do with the electroculture? How do I do this? And how do I get the harnessing of the earth? And here you go. Perfect example. You could take a little piece of wood, you could wrap some copper right around there, place that right into the dirt, and that will work like an antenna that will gather ether, which is the energy that's all around us that Nikola Tesla, Wilhelm Reich, Victor Schauberger, and all these people talked about. And that energy will then come down into the dirt. It will magnetize the dirt so the dirt will become stronger. And this is a a plant that's just put on the balcony. So this is nothing even in the earth. This is just on the balcony, but you can do this with your plants on the earth as well too, and it will enhance the magnetism. Basically what happens is our soil starts to get dried out because the magnetism of the soil, it starts to deplete and it pretty much becomes dead. There's no more life force or ether inside that soil, so we need to reestablish that and harness that and bring that back. And this is a simple technique you can use. We put up more techniques on our website, cultivateelevate.com, but you can